Are you a special ed teacher? And do you have any runners in your class? Well, if you are looking for some help on how to manage those runners, I am going to be sharing with you my 10 best tips for managing runners. So stay tuned. Okay, let's get into it. What is a runner? Well, I'm defining a runner as a student on the autism spectrum that spontaneously runs. There's no warning. They just run. They might run out the classroom. They might run out the building. They might run into the street. And I did not get any training from college on how to manage these kids. But every year, back to back to back to back, I would receive one of these kids in my class. And I had to learn how to manage them very quickly. So I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 best tips for managing runners. And the first two tips that I have to do with you. And they are personal, but the first one is stay in shape. You have to stay in shape. Not necessarily fitness guru, competition, but you do have to stay somewhat in shape. Every morning I found that I needed to do some stretches and I needed to do at least 10 or 20 sit-ups so that my core could be, I could just be flexible and I could be able to move quickly. So you have to be fit. That's number one. Number two is wear comfortable clothing. You have to wear something that you can move good in, and you have to wear tennis. You can't wear no flip-flops, no sandals, none of that, no high heels. If you are, I work with preschool kids like ages 3 to 5 years old, and we're sitting on the floor, we're playing, with Play-Doh, we have paint, we're doing all kinds of messy things. So you're not dressing up anyway, but if you're a special ed teacher, you have even more going on because, you are changing diapers and you have runners sometimes. So, if you are all dressed up, then you're really not there to work. That's what I always say. So wear the comfortable clothes, wear the tennis. And if you have dress codes at your school, as far as tennis, you may want to try and get some special permission from your principal if you have a runner to be able to wear tennis. My next two tips have to do with the classroom environment, and they are number one, utilize those safety doorknob covers. Those are really good. The whole key to that is to not let the kid figure out how to use it. So, keep them away from the door. Keep them away from the door. And don't let them see how you do it. When you go to open the door, you're not like on display showing them step by step how to do it. You're blocking the door with your body and you do it. And don't let them see. For as long as they don't know how to do it, then that safety cover is your friend. They also have them for the doors that have the pull down handle. And like I said, just keep them away from the door. Whenever you see them going anywhere near the door, redirect them. Don't give them time to play with it and figure it out, okay? Because, you're messing it up for yourself. Make sure that they don't learn how to do it. All right, so next is furniture arrangement. Make sure that you are arranging your furniture in such a way that you're not leaving lots of wide open spaces in your classroom. A wide open space is a welcome, for kids to just run. It's like an open invitation for them to run, whether they're typically developing or whether they're special needs If they can run, they will run. So um, make sure to use lots of corners, lots of corners with your furniture placement, especially with runners. And that way, if they run, they run into a corner, then you can go and get them and bring them back to where they're supposed to be. Um, Also, you want to block your door, not like block the door like a fire hazard or anything, but kind of arrange like if you have like tall cubbies or um, tall file cabinets or anything like that, you may want to kind of align it with the door in some kind of way so that the door isn't like the centerpiece of that wall, kind of a out of sight, out of mind, kind of camouflage it. They still know it's there, but like I said, if you have the opportunity and you see them going in that area, make sure you just redirect them away from the doors. Um, and then next, uh, number 5 has to do with structure. You always need to have a picture schedule for your whole day and routines for each thing in the schedule. Make sure that your schedule is low, where they can see it, and tell them with each, as you start a new activity and you end, you know, start an activity, end it, and then you start a new activity. With each new activity that you start, let them know what's going on. Tell them what's going on. Um, and they'll learn that routine. And really, once they learn the routines, they learn the schedule, they do it, and they are able to function within that classroom environment because they know what to do. And it's wonderful. And it makes your job easier. It makes them feel confident. And you have like good things to report to the parent, which is awesome because parents need to hear good things, especially if their kid is like this, behavior problem and they're so used to hearing bad things. It's so nice when you can report some good things that the kid is doing. So have that schedule, stick to it like glue, and have routines for everything. You may have to, in the beginning, hand over hand, do the schedule with that kid for the first, I don't know how long in the year. Each kid varies, but, until they get it. My next tip is use picture symbols. These next two tips, 6 and 7, they have to do with transitions. Use picture symbols during transitions and tell the kid where you're bringing them. Don't just scoop up a kid and, just start walking. Because, they might be like, hey, wait, where are you taking me? Like, I'm not going. They may not have the words to say that, but they will show you with their actions. So you make sure that you have that picture symbol and use your words. Pair the two, the oral and the visual. And it helps with, just helping them to understand better and, help it to register better. But yes, picture symbol and the words telling them where you're taking them. Every transition. Next, number 7 is hold them by their forearm during transitions. Some people don't. Some people like to practice trying to get them to walk independently. I mean, if that's what you want to do, it just depends on how much you want to run. But if you do not want to run, unnecessarily, then I would hold them by their forearm, not their hands. Hands get sweaty, and slippery, and they can easily break free. I like to hold them by their forearm. Doesn't, you don't have to hold them hard or anything like that. Just gently hold them by their forearm. It's just more secure. So there's that. That is number 7. Number 8. Number 8 and number 9 have to do with outdoor play. And number 8 is before you take them outside, make sure that you leave them with the para and you inspect the perimeter of the area where they are going to be. not just the playground. That's really being vain. That's taken for granted that they are going to stay on the playground. Vain wasn't the word. The word is naive. The word is naive. That would be naive to think that they're just going to stay on the playground, because a lot of runners, they don't remain in the designated area. So you leave the kid with the para, and prior to taking them outside, you need to go out there and inspect the entire area. Make sure that all of the entrances and exits to the school, that the child would have access to, are locked. Make sure that they're locked. And don't take for granted that because there's a gate or a fence that's going to keep the kid, and you still have to watch them. That's number 9. Once you're outside with the kid, you have to watch them like a hawk. You cannot be standing there conversating with teachers. If you are conversating with the other teachers, you still have to keep an eye on that kid. You can't be looking at your phone. Can't think that the fence or the gate is going to do all the work, because most runners are also climbers. Basically, what that gate or fence does for you is it's a little bit of a buffer, and it can slow them down. Slows them down long enough for you to catch them if you need to. So, that was number 9. Watch them carefully once they're outside. And my last tip, number 10, has to do with field trips. And the thing that I would say about field trips is, do not attempt to do it alone. Okay? And by alone, I don't mean like, oh, well, that's fine, I have my para. No, because the reality of it is you have more than one kid in your class, and those kids need attention too. You need to ask the parent to chaperone on that field trip. You need help, and you just tell the parent, look, I would love to bring your kid with me to the zoo. We've been learning about the zoo in class. We've been learning about animals, whatever. And I would love for him to come, but I really would feel much safer if you would come along and you chaperone. And really, I like to ask all of my parents to chaperone, whether they're runners or not, because, all those extra eyes and hands are just so helpful. So that is what I recommend. And then if you really don't feel secure, I've had many parents to tell me things like, oh, well, I'm just going to make it worse if I'm there. He doesn't listen to me, or, that kind of thing. If you, see where that kind of thing is coming, a harness, the safety harness that they usually sell them on the baby aisle. I would definitely use a harness, or even a stroller if they have to have a stroller. And I mean, like, I work with preschoolers, like they're 3 to 5 years old. I don't know what the limit is as far as, whether or not you would put the kid in a stroller, but it is definitely better to be safe than sorry. So, those are my best tips. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was helpful, please give it a like. And if you know anybody who could use this information, please go on and share it with them. This is my first video in a while. I hadn't been posting any videos, but my plan is to post new videos every week. And every week I'm going to try and address these hard behaviors, that we experience in the special ed class, the kind that don't really get addressed in the college classroom. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bar so you can, the bell, so you can know whenever I post new videos. If you have any comments you want to add to the tips, like if you have some better tips or something really good that you think we need to know, please, by all means, share it in the comments down below. And thank you so much for, watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.